Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Apologies for the late start, not late tart that I just wrote in the comments. It's been a thing. It's been a day already. So yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you can all hear me okay tonight. I've got the microphone working again. Didn't need to replace it for the 15th time, so hopefully that's good. Good evening to Patricia. Good evening to Wolf Boyo. It looks like we've got a few others here as well. Hey guys, I have awesome news. I've been accepted to study A-level history. Oh, sociology and psychology in September. That is fantastic. Tanisha, oh my lordy, lordy, lordy. Hello, my darling. How are you? You're here after so long. Time of the live matched your free time. That is fantastic. Good evening, Tanisha. I haven't seen you in a long time. Wolf Boyo, I studied psychology and sociology and communications, which is really interesting, except it's the same subject from three different viewpoints. So sociology studies people en masse, psychology studies the individual, and communication studies how the individual communicates to the society en masse, or vice versa. So it was very confusing. I don't recommend doing all three, but doing two is really fascinating. Except you will be sat there at one point going, oh, is it Big Daddy Laszlo? Is it, who was it that said this? Because they're very similar, but yes, fabulous. Right, so I do have my coffee. We did go to Costa. They didn't have any oat milk, so I had to make do with a black coffee with an extra shot. And I did have a little wibble in B&M. So I had to get an energy drink as I was walking around and drink it as I was walking around. So I've got a big chunk of caffeine in my system. Thank you, Patricia, and I'll come to you for answers. No, don't come to me for answers. My brain don't work. I can't remember anything anymore. I'll have to come to you for answers. Oh, Tanisha, look, I've just seen there. Look, good evening, Patricia. You've done a master's in psychology as well. Maybe we should all go to Tanisha for answers. Maybe that's what we need to do. Instead of waiting around for the doctors to get my my MRI and my brain scan and all that lot, maybe we'll just go to Tanisha and go, Tanisha, why is my brain like this? But anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. We are going to do some tarot readings tonight. And yeah, we're going to crack on very, very soon. I'm just very aware. What can I see in the back? Oh, it's this. I thought it was in the background. Oh dear, I've got to tell you. Right then, so couple of things. I've got a new thingy later on tonight because you all know how much I love my mods, right? The mods keep this channel running. I cannot do this without the mods. So I'm going to play this now, but I will play it at the end. I just want to say thank you to the mods. And so I've made something. Because I love my mods so much, I made a special thing with the photo finally. So that's what the mods look like. Wolf Boyo says you're in the middle of the course studying at the moment, so watching in the background. My darling, like, go for it. You study away to your heart's content, Wolf Boyo. Patricia, one of your granddaughters, I've made this a bit bigger, but I still can't really read it. One of your granddaughters has a doctorate in psychology. She studied just using the family members. I always think she's studying you when she visits. Hi to Ed as well. Hello, Ed. I hope you're well. No, Ed, we were very late in starting. That's my fault. We'd been to Lidl's, been to Slimming World, been to B&M. Where do we go? Pets at Home, British Heart Foundation, B&M, I've said that, Pound Stretcher, Costa, Lidl, Slimming World, all since 3 o'clock. It's been busy, hectic. Sorry, since 4 o'clock. So yes, we're a little bit late starting. But anyway, good evening all. Right, so How do you get a reading on this channel? There are two ways, right? The only way you can guarantee your reading is by queue jumping. So if you want to do that, it does cost £4 or £3 for members. But if you want to do that, this is how you queue jump. So yes, indeed, if you want to queue jump and guarantee your reading is next, that explains it. You just go ahead and click over to buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. As soon as we get monetized on YouTube, that'll make life a lot easier in order to be able to manage those. But let's go ahead. Right, we're going to start some readings straight after this, okay? So as always, I do have to give you all a little bit of a warning. I have been known to use a bit of bad language occasionally. I tell it as it is in all my readings, always have done, but occasionally that can cause some issues.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Indeed, we'll go ahead and open a round right now. If you would like to pop a question in, go ahead. You need to start your question with the word question. I will then grab one of them at random, do that reading, and then we'll open another round afterwards. And so you can keep putting your question in. If you're not picked on the first round, my advice is to select it, copy it, and get it ready for the next one, and just hit your paste button. That is the easiest way to do it. As I said before, you can always queue jump over at buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. Let's open a round. What are we feeling? I think I'm feeling steampunky. We'll go with that. Yes, indeed. If you want a reading, this is when to do it. So go ahead and pop your questions in on the live stream. We're quite quiet tonight, I must admit. So if nobody wants a reading, then we can all just go home. I mean, I'm already at home, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I do have. This is going to be a video, right? So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something that I've found today. Look. I found some new tarot cards because, you know, a girl can never have enough. And these were in B&M and they were £3. So if you want, I had to buy them. I know they're going to be rubbish, but I had to buy them. If you would like to see what a £3, I didn't even. Oh, thank God for that. I was about to say, I didn't even check. They haven't even got a booklet. Oh, my Lord. How are you supposed to? Is there not? Okay. Wow. Right. So if you want to see me go through those, I'm going to film a video about it very soon. There's not even a little white book. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So then, if you would like a question, do please go ahead and pop your question in the live chat. I think we might have had a couple come through. I'm going to give you one more 20-second chance. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll crack on with some readings. But I'm dying to look at that Home Bargains. Oh no, B&M, the B&M cards. I'm so desperate to look at them, but I will reserve that for a video. Don't forget, if you want a reading, this is how you do it. Go and put the questions in right now. Right then, let's have a look. I don't have my specs on, so as anybody who knows, basically what we do, all of the ones that come in, I rotate the little wheelie thing on the mousey thing, whatever that I don't know what it's called, a pinwheel, is that what it's called? I thought a pinwheel was the thing you get when your computer is slow loading, like I had today. But anyway, right, let's go ahead and click on one of these. Let's have a look, and we're going to go with this one. Wolf Boyo, hello, my darling. Question. Hang on, let me click on the blue thing so I can see it. There we go. How will I get on taking 4 A-levels at once? Oh, I can tell you my brain struggled doing the 3 and a GCSE, because I did GCSE French at the same time, and my brain struggled. And that was back before I had brain issues. So, you know, it was just lots of different language, because learning psychology is a whole new language to learn, and then putting sociology on top, and then putting communications on top, and then it was bonkers. But yeah, right, let's have a look then. So we're going to crack on with Wolf Boyo's question. If you put your question in and you're not Wolf Boyo, go ahead, select it, copy it, get ready. Each reading is about 7 or 8 minutes. So hang on in there and get ready to post it in again as soon as we finish this reading. Okie dokie. So then, Wolf Boyo, let's change to the card cam. Everything is working well tonight, so let's not jinx it. There we go. So then let's have a look. So dragons, as always, if you're new here, you'll hear me say dragons a lot. The dragons are my egregore servitor tulpas. If you don't know what that is, there's a whole podcast episode about it, but they are thought forms. Basically, it's the elemental energies that I use and that I connect with that bring messages from the Akashic field. Yep, it's all explained on a podcast if you want to check that out. Just click on the channel and then click on the podcast section. You'll see we've got quite a few episodes now. There's about 17 episodes, I think, 12, 15 episodes, something like that. But there is one dedicated to the dragon, so go and have a look. Right, I always start by ringing my little bell. I've already smudged the room and rung the big bell, which is this one. But I use the little bell just to cleanse the space, and then we do the readings. So then, Wispy, who is our main tarot dragon, he's an air elemental. Wispy, we would like a reading for the friend of the channel, Wolf Boyo, who wants to know, how will I get on taking 4 A-levels at once? How's Wolf Boyo going to get on this coming academic year, taking on 4 A-levels at once? I thought you were moving, Wolf Boyo, so it's glad to see you've got some stability. Oops, let's have a look then. Get in there, your cards. Right, so we don't have a card that's jumped, so there's no modifying card. So let's have a look for you. Don't forget, everybody, if you want a reading, hang on in there till I've done this one. We will open another round very, very soon. There's no list as such. We just do a round. So then we'll do I'll tell you what, we'll do it's normally a love reading of this one, right? But we'll do the where you are now, what you need to know, and what the opportunity is that's coming your way with it all. Right, so we do have 3 reversed cards. These are all minor arcana cards, but let's have a look. So the 4 of Cups in where you are now. I think that you've been a little bit stagnant maybe recently, and that might be why you're starting this sort of course of study. The stagnancy is we've got this sort of stagnant water, as you can see, but it is emotions. So maybe you've been feeling a little bit stuck in a rut and wanting to move into different areas. The situation that you're in at the moment, I think it's going to be okay. It is still going to be stable, but just be aware that there might be a little bit of boredom creeping in, or a little bit of, how can I put it? It might be a little bit of same. Does that make sense? So there is a little bit of you, obviously, if you're going to be studying for a long period of time, then you need to be in the same place, same classroom, same teachers, all of that for a little while. So that will mean you can't sort of be looking at moving too soon. So I think this is what that's relating to. The 4s are always about stability. Think of the 4 legs of a table. In the what you need to know, we've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Now, Pentacles is work, career, finances. In this case, it can also relate to obviously study, because that's considered work, career. And the Knights are that teenage energy. So this is, I think this is a caution, Wolf Boyo. It's just basically saying, look, be aware that you don't create your own issues, right? Beware you don't create your own problem, because it would be very easy to go, right, I'm doing this now, and then actually I'm going to change this, and I'm going to drop psychology, and I'm going to take on German, and then I'm going to drop German, I'm going to take on pottery or whatever it is. It's quite easy to shift and change. And that night is that sort of, oh, I don't really feel it right now, I'm going to make a really rash decision. So just be aware of that, because it could be very easy to make a quick decision. Pentacles is work, as I say, so it is talking about the amount of study you've got. And I do think, because they're all reversed, I think there's a bit of trepidation that you've got at the moment. I think there's a little bit of a concern, a bit of a worry that you're going through. I don't think there's anything really to worry about as such, but it is obviously completely natural that you will be feeling a little bit nervous about starting something, especially for A-levels. That's not a small undertaking, is it? And then the opportunity that's coming your way, we've got the Eight of Swords. Now, you might think, because you've been on the channel quite a bit, Wolf Boyo, you might think that the Eight of Swords is a disastrous card, because I often talk about swords being the trouble and strife, the challenges. But this is actually quite a good one in this position, because it's talking about an opportunity. And what it's saying is, one of the things about the Eight is normally, the character you see a person that's blindfolded. This represents that blindfold, but look, it's being cut. So there are some ties that are being cut. This unknowing is being relieved. So you're going to get some answers, literally, by studying psychology. You're going to know a lot more about yourself. But also, I think this is going to reveal certain things. And I think, yes, it's a challenge. I do think this is going to be a challenge for you, okay, over this next year. But I think you've got it. I actually think you've got it, right? Because if it was this way up, it would be saying, oh, it's going to be really difficult, blah, blah, blah. But it's this way up, which is basically saying, look, yes, it's going to be hard, but I don't think it's going to be, hang on, why does that look? There you go. I don't think it's going to be insurmountable. I think you've got this. I think the blindfold coming off, this sort of reveal, I think is actually going to work in your favor. I think it's going to be a really interesting time. And I think you might not think you can manage, but if you stick it out, this is going to be really, really good for you long term, my friend. Really good for you, because it's going to reveal all of this lovely knowledge. And I think you're going to find one of these subjects, one of the four, and I don't know why I'm getting this vibe, but one of the four is going to be your absolute passion, okay? One of the four subjects is going to, sorry, I've got a load of stickers on the front, Rick and Morty stickers. They've all just fallen off. But one of these is going to be your passion. It's going to be something you absolutely thrive in. So yeah, it will be hard, but I think you've got this, because this is also reversed and it's normally not a great card. So yeah, I think you're going to be absolutely fine this coming year. Honestly, I do think it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of study, because 4 A-levels is a big lot to take on, but I think you've got this, my friend. I really, really do. Anyway, hopefully that helps, my darling. Let's have a little look in the chat. Let's have a look in the chat. Let's have a look. So what have we got? Who's in the chat? Oh, hang on. Oh gosh. It's in progress, but housing situation is slowing things. Yeah, it will do. Just keep thinking about your study. Just keep looking at studying. Good evening, Brit. If you ask a question, you need to pop the word question in the chat. Oh, okay, Ed. You needed to get some wood inside before it rains. I thought that was a euphemism there, my friend. Melena Masterson, thank you, Patricia. I'm not quite sure. His mum is feel the husband is okay. I'm not quite sure what that is about. Talking about cats in the chat. Vrinda, good evening, Vrinda. I didn't say hello to you when you came in. You see beautiful nails. Thank you, my darling. So they're a bit of a let me show you. I'll show you over this camera. Hang on. Oh, I could do nail art. Watch this space. Nail art coming soon, right? They're actually, I don't know whether, if I tilt it, oh yeah, look, hang on. Let me point it out. If I get a pen, look, if I point it out just here, you see that rim there? That's actually the nail, the acrylic. But I went to Pride on Saturday and met one of the mods at Pride, a particular Pride. And because I needed to get them reef and infill done, I didn't have time to do it. So I basically just got some, there's this stuff that you get. Hang on, let me swap back to the normal camera. There's this stuff that you get, which is like a peel off thing. It's like a glue, and you put it all around the skin. And then I put that round, and then I sponged on the pink and graded it into that gradient with the purple, because it was purple before. And then I put 2 coats of different glitter types over the top to make it all sparkly for the pride. And that was it. That was it. So effectively, I've extended the life of these before I need to go and get them infilled. So yeah, I know, right? I did that. Thank you. Well, it was a cut and shut job. Let me have a look-see. Right, we're going to do another round. You've been stuck in a rut, basically wanting to move forward with everything, but you're worried about starting as you've achieved no higher than 2 GCSEs. That's fine. GCSEs are one thing. A-levels are different, right? GCSEs, you've got no choice. You've got to study. A-levels, it's your choice. It's your choice. So if you're choosing these subjects, you must be interested in them. Wow, history is your favorite. Yeah, Wolfboy, I think you'll be absolutely fine, my darling. You'll be absolutely fine. The nail art's amazing. I find it really time consuming, but love watching face. Oh, thank you, Tanisha. Thank you. Right, shall we go ahead and have another round? Shall we open up another round? Do you know what? I think we should. I think we should. Go ahead and pop your questions in, everybody. If you would like a reading, do you know what you need to do? Do you know what you need to do? You need to put your question in the live chat right now, starting with the word question. Yep, starting with the word question. And then, I know, right? Who would have thought you need to start a question with the word question? I mean, that's just amazing, isn't it? But that wasn't the button I meant to press. I meant to press this one. I know, right? But we'll take the button. Anyway, if you would like to a question, go ahead and do that now, my darlings. Put your question in. I'll grab one of them at random, and then we'll do another reading. Let's go. Yes, indeed. Let's have a look at the comments. Right then, let me have a look-see. We're going to go up and down and up and down. I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at these. So we go with up and downy, uppy downy. We go with this one here, which is Lisa. Question, what will people think of your book? Okay. No idea. What's it about? That's cheating, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I need to take my hair down because it's really annoying me. There we go. That's a bit better. Right then. It's been one of those days today, so it's been warm and muggy, so I didn't want my hair up. Sorry, I didn't want it down on my neck, but I didn't want to put it up. So I just whacked it in a loose pony, but then it gets all like... Bleh. Right, anyway, let's have a look. So then we're going to swap cameras. I know. Can you tell I am very highly caffeinated right now? I know, right? With my ADHD, HDD, and this amount of caffeine, it's going to be an interesting stream, I'm telling you. Watch out, mods. Watch out. Watch out, mods. Right then, let's have a little look-see. So, the lovely Wispy. What do we want, Wispy? Lisa, not me, the other Lisa. Lisa would want to know, what will people think of her book? Lisa's writing a book. What do people think? That's what we want to know. So then, I'll tell you what we're going to do then, Lisa. We are going to look at... Let's think. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Dragons. Wispy. Sorry, music again, Wispy. Thank you. What we're going to do, Wispy, I want to know, we're going to do option A, option B, and the tiebreaker. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Option A is... Option A will be what the... I'll tell you what. Option A will do reviewers. Option B will do general public. And the tiebreak or the overall opinion will do that. We'll do that one, right? Does that sound good, Lisa? So option A will be what the reviewers or publishers think, what the professionals think. Option B will be what the general public thinks. And option and the third card will be the what the overall vibe is, I guess. Does that make sense? Right, let's have a look anyway. 5 of Cups. and the King of Wands. They're all reversed, and the Queen of Swords. Right, so let's have a look. See, oh, you can't see that one. Hang on, I moved the camera, didn't I? There we go. So the option 8, the reviewers, I think it's going to be a bit mixed, but overall favorable, because we've got the 5 of Cups. Now it is reversed, so the 5 of Cups, 5s to me are talking about a bit of instability, but I think the reviewers, the professionals, I think they will see it as being, you know, they'll give it a fair review. So I don't think that you're going to get like, oh my God, this is the best novel ever, you know, better than the Bible, says Jesus Christ. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be like that. But I don't think it's going to be, this is the worst book ever. Oh my God, you know, bin it, burn it, whatever. I think it's going to be mixed, but I think overall it's going to be more favorable than it is negative, right? So on a Rotten Tomatoes thing, I think it'll be like 63% or whatever. So it'll be on the verified tomatoey. I can't remember how that works, but you know what I mean. I think it will be okay, right? There is going to be some criticism, but there's going to be others that love it, right? On the reviews of the public, King of Wands, I think, reviews of the public, I think that is going to be, again, I think generally the public are going to quite like it. You've got the King of Wands, so Wands is self-esteem, security. Kings are very authoritative and quite high up there. So I think actually it's probably going to get better review from the public than it is from the professionals, the reviewers. And I think it's going to be one of those books which I'm interested to know what it's about, actually, because again, I'm getting this vibe that it's going to be like a slow burn, a bit like, and I'm not saying it is, but a bit like, was it 50 Shades of Grey that started off and got rejected like 30 times because it was a fanfic of the vampire films, Twilight? And then one random publisher was like, "Oh no, go on, we'll take a risk on this." But if you actually read 50 Shades, it's terribly written, and I'm not saying your book is, but it's not well written. It's got all sorts of issues with it as a book, but it did take off. So I think that's kind of it could well be a slow burn situation. And overall, Queen of Swords, this will be your interpretation. I think you're going to find some obstacles and some challenges, but I think it's going to lead you to maybe whether this book, it could be a series, whether this is going to be you writing more different genres, different things. I think it's going to lead that way, because the swords, I mean, all 3 of these are reversed. So I think, again, it's going to be a mixed bag. But swords, yes, swords is trouble and strife, but it's also the air element, which is Wispy's element, but it is also the closely related to thoughts and ideas. Okay, so I think this is going to spark whatever this feedback is from the reviewers and the public. I think between the two, you'll get an idea of what people want and what the publishers want, and I think that's going to spark more from you. And it could be something where, you know, the first book does reasonably okay, it sells a few copies, people seem to be a bit mixed about it, but whatever that is, it's going to lead to you going, right, so now actually they didn't like the main character, they liked the brother or the secondary character. So actually maybe we need to look at what that character is doing and follow their path a little bit more. A bit like Anne Rice in the Vampire Chronicles. The first book is all about Louis, right? Very much Louis's perspective, Interview with the Vampire. The next books on are all about Lestat and the rest of them. Louis barely in there. And it's a bit like that, right? It feels a bit like that to me. As I'm sat here, there's also another book series by Poppy Z. Bright, and it's the Liquor series about chefs and that in New Orleans. And again, the first couple of books of that, or the first couple of books that she wrote or that they wrote at the time, were about vampires and horror and things like that. And then it shifted to all be about restaurants in New Orleans. Very, very interesting. And again, it feels very much like that. Hopefully that helps, my darling. I can't wait. You'll have to let us know when things are being published and what they're about and stories and all that, and whether we can purchase them for review or purchase them on their Amazon or wherever. But yeah, thank you very much for your question. Let us know in the chat, my darling, what the book is about. I've probably asked you this before. I think I have. But anyway, thank you very, very, very much. I've just realized you didn't move the camera. Let's have a look. Thank you. You want to do a series? Wow. Let me just, sorry, what was this, Tanisha, my darling? Who's become friends? Are you guys all friends? I censor in the chat. We're not all friends. We all know each other from being on the chats. And people just say hi. This is why I think this is one of the best groups and the best communities on the YouTube, because although we're small, everybody is so lovely, genuinely lovely. And the people that come for readings, again, sorry, I need to sort my hair out. The people that come for readings, again, are absolutely lovely folks generally. We've had a few dickheads, but, you know, the mods deal with those. But it's a generally lovely group. And so because of that, I think the vibe, when people come in and they talk in the chat, our viewers, you lot that are watching this, everybody that's watching, if somebody comes on and says, you know, I don't know, should I take my ex-boyfriend back? He cheated on me with my sister, my mother, my father, and my best friend. And then he stole all the money from my bank account, but I still love him. Should I take him back? We'll do a reading, but while I'm doing the reading, the mods and the other people that are waiting for readings, the viewers, the community, my lovely subscribers will turn around and say, oh no, don't do that, oh no, and someone else will come in and say, I'll tell you what, I understand why you want to take him back. You know, when I had an ex that did this, blah blah blah, and everybody gives everybody else advice, and it's so lovely. It's literally a bit like a coffee morning in the evening. It's like everybody just comes along. Some people get readings, some people like to just hang out with us, which again is absolutely lovely. And it's that really warm vibe, it's that really warm feeling, which I absolutely love. So yeah, welcome, my darling. Anytime you want to come in, Tanisha, anytime you want to come in and say hello, then please do. We've got people from all over the world. I've tried to learn a few different languages just to say hello to people a little bit, such as, you know, I could say namaste, and that's about it because I keep forgetting. But yeah, that's it. People all over the world. We've got lots of people watch from India, from Myanmar, the new, it used to be called Burma, but Myanmar. Lots of people from all over the world. So yes, it's really, really just a really lovely place. So yeah, come and hang out with us at any time. Oh, Flower Beauty, I've just seen that. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you. It's like sitting in my living room and chatting with each other. That's really sweet of you. Thank you, Flower Beauty. That is really sweet of you to say that. That's kind of the vibe that we like here on this channel. You know, the other big YouTube and all of the YouTube advice is to not do any of this. Like, no, you shouldn't be chatting to people as if they're actual human beings. You should be every 5 seconds, ding that bell, hit that subscribe, do a like spike, all of that. That's what you should be doing. Can't be asked with any of that. Can't be asked with any of that. It's all just about, let's just have a little chit chat and do some reading. So yeah, love it. Anyway, that's where you subscribe, views. But I know you've been here for ages. You've been here for ages, Tanisha. I love it. Who created me? What disastrous happened? What? What created who? Created me? What? I'm confused. Oh, who cheated? No, it was an example. Nobody cheated on me, my darling. Nobody cheated on me. It was an example. Me and Rufus are very, very much still together. So yeah, no, nobody's cheated on me, my darling. Anyway, if anyone else is watching this, now we've all caught up with each other's love lives. How's your missus? How's your husband? Let us know how everything's going. How's your leg doing, lovely? Is it all right? How's your leg? Yeah. I was about to say how's your pussy, but I meant a cat. I meant cat. Yeah. Shall we do another round of tarot? Let's do another round of tarot. Why not? My hair is really annoying me. It's been in a ponytail all day. So now it doesn't want to play ball. It's like, there you go. That'll do. That'll do. Right. Shut up, Lisa. Nobody cares about your hair. Let's do it. Can you tell I've had a lot of strong coffee today? Right. Let's get another reading on. If you would like a reading, please go ahead, put your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will read one of them at random. And if you haven't already, when you put it in, select it, copy it, because if you aren't chosen on this round, you maybe get lucky on the next one. Okie dokie. Right then, as I've always said, I am pretty blind without me specs. I am pretty blind without me specs, but of course you did. What do you mean, Ed? I don't know what that means. Of course I did what? I don't know what that means. I'm pretty blind without my specs, so all I do is I roll up and down on the thingy and then randomly stop, and that's what we do. So yay, let's go to this one. I can't see. I know, it really hurts my eyes. Right, there we go. Misbehave. Hi, Misbehave. You're from the other channel. Hi, there's Hope. What? Hi, there's Hope. Use both. What? Hope use both are okay. Are you not doing Slimming World anymore? Oh, sorry. Yours isn't even a tarot question. Hi, Misbehave. Yes, we are doing Slimming World. I actually said to Rufus, we got weighed in today. And we both gained 2.5 pounds because we just did. And I said to Rufus, I need to start doing some Slimming World videos again because it kept me on track. And at the moment, I've been free falling. So yeah, I will be doing Slimming World videos on the other channel. Hopefully there'll be one going up soon. I'm not going to say this week because my fibro means that I'll say it and 3 days will go by and I'll forget, like Ed sending over that Star Trek thing that I promised you weeks ago, and I will try and do it tomorrow. But yeah, that's why. Oh, look at the red. Can you see Mr. Tui just jumped up there? Look. So yeah, right. Let me click again on, I tell you what, it looks like there's 2 questions in the chat. So if I just go between the 2, we're going with that one. Is that one? That one. I haven't clicked. Oh, flaming neck. Hang on. Right. Scrolly. That one. Who's this? Brit. Question. How are the parents of the kids signed up viewing my climbing therapy program so far? How are the parents? I don't think I can answer that. I tell you what I'll do, Brit. Let me just make sure that's starred. And then it's in a blue box with white writing, which is easier for me to read. I wonder if there's a way I can change my entire screen to that. I don't think there is. But anyway, right. Brit, what I'll do is we'll slightly change the question, but hopefully this will make sense. Right then. So, Wispy, what we want to know, my friend, is Brit has a interesting therapy program running, doing climbing therapy. How are things going to go with the business in general in the next few weeks? Okay, how are things going to go in general? So what we're going to do, Wispy, is a situation, obstacle, and how to overcome. How about that, Britt? Hopefully that answers the question in the similar sort of way. That's me. That isn't the cards. That is me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. It's me. It's me. Something else. I don't know the words. Right then. Oh gosh, maybe I've had too much coffee. No, no such thing. Right, let's have a look. See then. Here we go, Britt. Waiting for your drop. Come on, cards. Normally you drop by now. There you go. Oh, they're not sure. Did you see how that stuttered then? As it wasn't sure, were they? Right. So the situation. Page of Swords. Okay. Right. The obstacle. Oh, materialism, money, contracts, things holding you back. The outcome, 10 of Wands. Right, okay. So in all honesty, my darling, I think you might have some stuff to deal with, right? Page of Swords coming up in the situation. Swords is your trouble and strife. Page is youthful energy, but in the childlike, naive energy. So there's something going on that you need to learn about, okay? So there's something here happening that you need to learn about because this is reversed and this is your challenge card, right? So, and this, you can see this person is currently reading. So there is something going on that you need to learn. You need to still, there's some more T's for you to cross and I's for you to dot. It's not all there yet, right? The reason I'm saying that specifically is because in the obstacle, you've got the devil. Now, the devil is all about contracts and things being tied and links that are very, very tightly linked together, right? Very firmly linked. It's also representative of materialism. So there's something here to do with money, but there's something here to do with some sort of contract, and the devil is in the details. So whether that is an insurance issue, whether that is a, you know, I don't know, business liability, I'm sure you've got all of that covered because it's the basics, but there is something here that you need to address, and it may well be just asking for feedback, things like that, you know, doing a before therapy, after therapy, one of those lovely, you know, do you like flower arranging, do you want to unalive people, do you want, you know, one of those tick sheets. There's something here that you need to make sure of, right? And it is something that is, it's not necessarily a legal situation yet, but it is in, it's in the devil is in the details. There is something on this course or something that you are providing that isn't quite hitting home, okay? So maybe, but it's to do with the paperwork side of it. It's not to do with the actual climbing, if that makes sense. And then in the how to overcome it, don't be... Right, hang on, I'm swapping cameras. Now, you know when I swap cameras halfway through a reading, it's for a reason, right? Don't get offended. This card is talking about, or is pointing towards arrogance, right? If it was this way up, it would say that the, if it was in the obstacle position, it would be saying that this is arrogance, right? I don't think that you are coming off as arrogant, but I think you need to be really careful. How to overcome things is maybe you need to ask for help, feedback, advice, that sort of thing, okay? Because it's coming up after the devil and this youthful element going on as well with the page, it's literally saying there's something you're unaware of, not because you're ignoring it, but because literally you don't know that that needs to be covered. The devil is in the details with this, so it's something that you do need to fine tune, hone in on, and really look at. And don't be afraid to ask for advice, ask for help. Humble yourself a little bit, right? Even if this is something you are the first person in the entire world to create this particular school, business, thought, therapy, whatever it is, you might be the person that invented this, but still ask for advice along the way. There is something happening at the moment. That Page of Swords with the devil, there is something happening here that you are not aware of. The devil is in the details and there's something you're missing. You might not want to look for it, but there is definitely something that you need to get advice on, okay? Otherwise, it's going to burn down. For me, the 9 is the epitome of wands, in this case, confidence. 10 is into arrogance, right? So the 9 in any suit is kind of where it gets to the max. 10 is overflowing. In this case, the wands have caught fire and it's burning everything down. So this is coming up as the how to overcome these other problems. Don't get carried away with your own publicity. Don't believe your own hype, and ask somebody for advice, okay? Don't know what that is fully in relation to. You can't really get a lot of details with a 3-card reading, but my darling, thank you very much for your question, and I hope that helps. And I'll be very intrigued as to know what's happening. We're very intrigued as to know what's happening. But yeah, thank you very much for your question, my darling. Let's get another one going. We've got a few people on now. So, oh, thank you. A beeping appliance has been detected in the kitchen. That's because Rufus has got the air fryer on or something. But yeah, hopefully that helps, Brit. Thank you ever so much for your question. Let's have a look at the comments. Oh, no worries, my darling. Thank you. Let me have a look. Right then, we've got Cherie here as well. Let me have a look. Who else just came in? Lou-hoo. Hello, Lou. Hello, my darling. I hope you are well. Misbehaved. You meant the chat. I still don't know what you mean, Ed. I don't know what you mean. But anyway, right. Oh, Judy as well. Good evening. Right. We haven't opened up a round. We're going to open up a round right now. So if you would like a question answered, what do you have to do on this channel? There's 2 ways of getting around, right? The only way to guarantee it is by doing this. Yes, indeed. But if you don't want to do that, honestly, there's no issue. You don't have to go ahead and pay for one. You can get yourself a free reading, but it is a little bit more by chance. How do you get a free reading on this channel? By doing this. Yes, indeed. Right then, my specs are up here, so I can't see the chat. So then let's have a little look-see. Let's have a little look-see. We're going with this one. No, I didn't click it. This one. Have I clicked it? Yes, I have. Who's that? Judy. Judy, good evening, Judy. Question, please. Do you know what I have got, right? Before I read you this question, I've got some bigger monitors. If I can work out whether the bits of old computers I've got, if I can link it all together and make it all work and function, because I can't afford a new computer, but if I can make everything work, then I can get the bigger monitors in and I'll be able to actually be able to read things clearly. And I won't need my old lady specs so much. Question, please. What does the rest of the month look like for me? Thank you. No problem at all, my darling. Let's have a little look-see. So then, Judy, let's have a look. Right then, let's have a look. So, here we go. Where's the... I haven't changed cameras, have I? That's why. I was like, where's the thing? Why can't I see? Because I'm not on the right thing. There we go. Right then, Judy. So, Wispy... Wispy, Judy would like to know, question, what does the rest of the month look like for Judy? So we'll do, is there 3 weeks left? I don't know. We'll tell you what, we'll do the next 3 weeks, Judy. One card for each of the next 3 weeks. And we've had a card drop. So you got 4 cards, my darling. This is your clarifying or modifying card. And basically what this relates to is, excuse me, this relates to your sense of confidence and how you see yourself. Okay, now quite often in the tarot decks, the 8 of Wands depicts like a window, and if you look out the window, you can see the wands have been thrown out the window. They're all up in the air. Now in this deck, it's a bit more nuanced, which I love. This is the reason I love this deck so much. So for me, these wands are all tied to these fireworks. Okay, so this isn't just throwing the wands out the window, running down the stairs and picking them up, which ones you want to move forward on. This is very different. This is talking about exploding the key elements of your life and then deciding which ones you want to move forward with, right? So it feels like it's a time of change, but this is a time of you igniting this fuse, sitting back and waiting for the fireworks to go off. And then you decide which elements of these you want to move forward with. Okay, so it's almost like you put each a different dream or wish or ambition in each one of these, and then you see which one's going to get the prettiest, you know what I mean? The pew, pew, what's it called? The explosion, the doodahs, the lights, right? And it's almost like you say to yourself, whichever one is prettiest, that's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm headed, right? So it's lots of options available. So then let's have a look. As soon as we get a card that flips on this channel, that's your modifier. We stop shuffling. We go straight to the cut. And we're going to do 3 weeks then. So the rest of this week, King of Wands, again, confidence. I don't know whether, well, I don't know anything about you, do I, my darling? But if you are single, this could represent your own energy. It could represent if you've got a long-term partner. It could represent their energy. Quite often with the kings, it's an authority figure. A lot of people see this as male energy. I find that really gendered in this day and age. Anybody can have really authoritative energy. So the king, as you can see in this deck, everybody is there's lots of different gender representations. So the king could be anybody. Now there is a warning with a red flag, right? So just be a little bit aware. This could be a boss, or this could be somebody in authority over you who is going to make some decisions that directly affect you. Okay. There is also a slight element with this card of rebelliousness, right? And the reason I'm saying that is because this card, and also there's another one in the deck as well, they remind me very much of on the barricades with Les Mis. It feels very similar in that sort of vibe. It's like we're going to stand up. So there's something here, either you are going to stand up to a boss, or a boss is going to put you in a difficult position, or if this is your energy, then you are going to be the one that stands up and gets counted. Okay, I'm not sure how that swings for you depending on where you are in the various lifestyle styles, if you like. So yeah. Right then, we've also got in the next week, the Hanged one. Oh, whatever decision you're waiting on. So if this is a decision by the boss, it's not going to come next week, right? So the Hanged one. In fact, if I click on, yay, it's the first time I got to use these today. If I click on, so the standard Hanged one is normally seen as the Hangman, looks a bit like this, right? So you see somebody hanging upside down from a tree. Now, in this deck, it's almost looks like they are underwater. In fact, that's because they are. You can see the bubbles coming up. So this person is waiting. Now, the Hanged one is a time of pause. It's a time of waiting and self-sacrifice. So you're waiting for the answers, right? So whatever this upheaval is that's happening overall over the next couple of weeks, the changes that are happening, whatever this decision is that feels like it's going to be a difficult one for you to process in terms of your confidence and esteem, the answer isn't going to come next week, right? This is this week, rest of this week, this is next week. The week after then, let's see, Five of Pentacles. Again, another time of change. This is definitely about work. Definitely a time of change. Now, fives for me are a time of upheaval, a time of change, as I say, and the Pentacles is normally related to work, career, finances. So there is something here along that sort of route. Now, you've got I don't know whether this is supposed to be like a scone that's been carved, or a stone, or a hot cross bun, or what it is. It doesn't really matter, because these cans are marking, positions. And so it's like your journey, whatever this journey is that you're on within the workplace, because I think this is definitely boss energy, this decision, it's like this is a milestone and you need to find a way to move to the next one. Okay, so whatever's happening, end of the month, I think is going to be a little bit of time of upheaval. So I don't think it's going to be these answers. Right, I don't think this answer is going to come that soon. Reason being, for me, is that the big shouty cards, the major arcana, the big headline grabbing cards, these are talking about longer periods of time, right? So although this is a week, I think the answers aren't going to come, and this sacrifice, this self-sacrifice, is going to take a bit longer. But overall, overriding all of it, is going to come down to your decision of where you see yourself headed. Okay, what you see yourself doing, it's your decision. You are going to be the one that makes the final not the final curtain, Lisa. That's my brain, my ADHD brain going, is the final countdown. No, you're going to make the final choices as to which direction you head in, but it's going to be interesting. Hopefully that helps, my darling. Let me go back to the other camera and the other onto the live chat. Let's just see. What's all that? I can't see lots of people chatting in the comments. You see, Tanisha, this is why the chat is so lovely. Judy's not commented. Hopefully that helps, Judy. I really hope it does. Hopefully that makes some sense. Ed, you're going to raise some funds for the Scar Cover Up Freedom Fund, okay, by challenges to swim 10 laps a day. That sounds really interesting, my darling. Let me know when it launches and how we can donate. And I would like to donate a little bit of money. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have money, to be honest, but I would like to donate a little bit and help as well. So yes, let us know when all of that kicks off. And also, well done for swimming. That's really cool. Like that for you. Let's have a look. Nanette's here. Good evening, Nanette. Nanette and Jack's I always want to say Jack Whitehall. Nanette and Jack Whitehall, because Jack Whitehall is a UK comedian. Jeanette, I've had too much coffee. Nanette and Jack's Witching Hours. Nanette's got a channel here on the YouTube. You don't feel good? It's way too hot and has been faux. You've been fucked off. No, it's been bad for you today. It's hot and has been since Sunday. Oh, my darling. You do have some lovely decks. Thank you. You ended up ordering the Topsy-Turvy deck. You can't remember what it's called. You can't remember anything today. Is that the one that's on both sides? That's the vice versa deck. The other one, the one that I was looking at the other day on the live stream on the members, is the Tarot of Oppositions. I don't know whether it's that one. I can't read that one. It's too small. But yeah, the vice versa, that deck is great. I'm now using the Fifth Spirit deck. Oh, it's fabulous. It's so good. So it's hot and humid, but it's always raining in the UK, Tanisha. This last month, when the rest of the world is burnt, we've rained. We have been flooded out in lots of parts of the UK. Yeah, it really has. So this deck, I can totally recommend this deck, Luhu. I'm going to do a whole video dedicated to it when I get round to it. It's bloody amazing. Fifth Spirit Tarot deck. It's got lots of different body types, lots of different gender identities, lots of different sexualities, just different people. It's got people with different body types. Some people are traditionally kind of quite small and petite. Some people are large and voluptuous. There's people in wheelchairs with different legs. One person's got a cochlear implant. There's somebody that's blind. Across the board, it's just people. And I love it so much. So much. It's a wonderful deck. It does. It's so good. It's so intuitive. It's so brilliant. I love it. Tarot Twins, another new one. Oh, no worries, Judy. Thank you ever so much. Sasuma Burrow, thank you. Oh, hang on. We haven't got any more questions in yet. Hang on. It's a very good deck. Right. Taylor Roberts, you're new here. What kind of readings do I do? I do 3-card readings. They are totally free. We can do lots of different types of 3-card readings, past, present, future, where you're at, situations, options, A, B, C, D, A, B, and tiebreak or whatever. So there's lots of options. Or you can go across to the channel up here. Go across here, buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can queue jump, which will get you a 6 or 7 card reading. And there's lots. So yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to get readings. All you need to do, though, is wait until we launch a round, which I'm about to do now. So there are 2 ways, right? 2 ways. All you need to do is go over and buy me a coffee. That will queue jump you, so you can automatically guarantee a reading, or you can take the risk of popping your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and then I will pick one at random. Okay, so I take my specs off because without my glasses I can't see anything, and then I just click on the screen. Hopefully it's with somebody that I wanted a question. It's not always. It's not always. Sometimes I click off the screen altogether. But yes, that's what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and open another round right now. This is how you do both of those things. Fabulous. Don't forget, everybody that does donate or joins the membership over at Buy Me a Coffee, everybody who donates or gets a booked reading, or everybody that also gets one of my Fiverr readings, basically anybody that pays me for tarot in any way, shape or form, 10% of all money that's raised goes to Fight Bladder Cancer, which is a bladder cancer charity here in the UK, and another 10% goes to Action Bladder Cancer. So of the, say if you donate £10, £1 goes straight to one charity and another £1 goes straight to the other. The rest of the money is used once everything's paid, everything's taxed and all that lot comes out. The rest of the money goes to running the channel. I pay for the streaming software that we use. I pay for the editing software I use. I pay for all of that, and we're not monetized on the YouTube. So that's where everything goes. So yes. Right then, let's have a little look-see and click on the comments on the live chat, and I'm going to go up and downy, uppy downy, uppy downy, and just choose one of these at random. So that one. Oh no, I've just selected everything and everything is blue. How the hell have I done that? Right, here we go. There we go. I'm doing it like this, and that one. Have I clicked on something? Oh. Nope, that's not a question. Right. Hang on. Here we go. Oh, la 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 la. Vrinda Sharma. Hello, Vrinda, my darling. Let's have a look-see. Question: what's your love life for the near future? Okay, my darling. As always, I'm going to swap to the other camera, to the card cam. Now, when I'm doing a reading, I can't see anything in the live chat because I'm on a whole different screen. So why is it not in position? There we go. Every time I get this just perfect on one day, and then the next day it all moves. It's almost like there's blooming fae folk or something running around in here. I don't think there is. There we go. That's exactly where it should be. Or something. Right then, let's just crack on. So then, Wispy, our lovely air dragons. Vrinda would like to know, Vrinda Sharma would like to know some details about their love life in the near future. That's what we'd like to know. Don't forget, everybody. Oh, hang on. A YouTube thing. Are you ready? Are you ready? How do I do it? Right. Let's have a glorious like spike, everybody. Hit that like button if you haven't done already. Give this channel, give the video a thumbsy uppy. So that would be glorious. Yes, indeed, it will be glorious. Go ahead and hit that like button. Right then, Vrinda. Wispy Vrinda wants to know what is coming up in their love life. Let's have a look. So then, we've got no card that's flipped. Sometimes Wispy likes to flip the cards. Sometimes he doesn't. If you don't know what I'm talking about, everybody, Wispy is an air elemental, the elemental energy of air. All of that. I like to think of him like the luck dragon from Neverending Story, Falcor, made out of smoke and steam and wisps of just, you know, ether. Ether, that's what Wispy is. Right then, let's have a look. So this is where you are now with your love life. So I don't know whether you've had, oh, my darling, it looks like you've had a troubled past, right? It looks like you've gone through something recently, because the Queen of Swords is coming up, and for me, swords is your trouble and strife. It's your obstacles, challenges, right? Now, again, I don't know your gender, Vrinda, but this is either you or a partner. Now, the Queen tends to represent female energy, but you can see this Queen is a little bit suspect about certain things, right? She looks nice, doesn't she? She looks lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely dress with some little leather studs, maybe, but quite a ornate, very austere throne, and a very, very distinct sword with a little glint in it because it's so blooming sharp. But what has she got in her hand? She's got a butterfly in her hand, and it looks like she's about to slice that butterfly with the sword, right? So on the surface, she looks reasonably okay, but there's a bit of a dark intent behind her, right? So I think that's talking about the situation where you are now. I think that's talking about either an ex, or it's talking about a situation that you've recently maybe avoided. This could be you. If you identify with feminine energy, this could absolutely be you as well, my darling. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, I don't know your gender, don't know sort of how, you know, what type of partners you're into, but it does feel like there's a distinct iffy energy around at the moment. Queens could also represent sort of maternal type parental figures. So mums, aunts, grandparents, that sort of thing, where it's slightly older, because they are quite authoritative. So definitely somebody who knows exactly what they want. And lo behold you if you don't give it to them. Watch out, because, you know, goes the sword. In the what you need to know, we've got the Six of Swords. So again, I think there are challenges. This is telling me there is something here you need to overcome, my darling. So there is something here that you need to keep working on. I think this is dealing with past trauma, definitely past issues that haven't quite been resolved. The reason I'm saying that, look, you can see we've got 6 geese flying away from a situation, but we've also got these 6 swords. In this case, they look like giant nails, and they're in this boat. And although at the moment the boat isn't sinking, if you look very closely at the boat, can you see how dark it is inside? That basically means the boat is taking on water because the water is jet black. So the boat isn't sinking just yet, but it's not going to be too long before it sinks. And this is talking about, 6s for me are talking about communities, family, wider circle of friends, wider circle of people. And I think that you've got some unfinished issues that you need to clear up before that's going to bring new energy in. Okay, so this is what you need to know. Whoever this person is, deal with that trauma, deal with that issue, get it resolved, because coming up there is an opportunity. And this is an interesting card because it could be work related or money related, but it's a 2 of Pentacles. Now for me, the 2s are always couples. It's always coming together, right? It can sometimes be like sisters or best friends or brothers, that sort of bond. But generally for me, the way that these cards read for me personally, it's very much about a couple, a coming together of a couple. Now, if this is a workplace relationship, it could be somebody that you meet during work. It could be somebody that you meet doing material things. The reason I'm saying material in bunny ears is because you can see they've also got seeds and a trowel. So this is talking about earth, because Pentacles represents earth, the element of earth energy. So this could be a gardening thing. This could be a, you know, something that you are doing together out in, you know, for nature, or it could be growing something together. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that you work with, but there is a prospect coming up. Now, I don't tend to see more than about 6 weeks away maximum. Okay, so it feels like this is within the next sort of month, definitely before the end of September, that this will start coming into fruition. So you've got a bit of time, right? Interesting. End of September would be 6 weeks. 6. So there is a bit of time for you to try and maybe just have a think about what this represents and try and clear that energy out, because I think that needs to be gone, or at least to be aware of, and make some steps towards removing that energy before this can come in. Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. Thank you ever so much for the question. And yeah, I wish you nothing but the very, very best of luck. Let us know, because me and Patricia, right, who's one of the mods in the live chat, one of my lovely moderators, we are desperate to buy wedding hats, right? I've never had a wedding hat in my life. God, look at my hair. I've never had wedding hats in my life. But I am desperate to have a situation where I can, I'm putting my hair up. I don't even care. I know, right? I am desperate for a wedding hat. I am desperate for it. So if you are meeting someone in the next few weeks, right, and they're coming in, we desperately want we desperately want to go to a wedding and buy a wedding hat. Ed in the chat is wanting an excuse to buy a whole new suit, like a pinstripe suit, like in Dick Tracy, or like the 20s, 30s mafia mob boss films, you know, where they carry a violin case and they've got the lovely trilby. That's what Ed wants. We've got it all planned out. We just need the excuse. Say again. Rufus says that Ed might like a kilt instead. I don't think so. Maybe. But we're talking about a wedding, not Ed's wedding, anybody's wedding that we get invited to. So yes, anyway, there you go. Trauma in the past, but you've moved on. I'm not sure you have, my darling. The cards are saying there is still stuff that you need to deal with. Still stuff you need to deal with. So yeah, definitely something here you need to move. Anyway, my darling, let's have oh, look, Ed's put it in the chat. justgiving.com/, all the doodahs on there, is the link to donate to the Scar Cover Up Freedom Fund. So if you don't know what SCUF is, they are a charity that help people that have gone through really tough times in their past where they may well have harmed themselves, or gone through really difficult times where they might have wanted to unalive themselves, things like that. And what SCUF do is they provide, whether it's tattoos or makeup or other ways for people to not just cover up the scars, because that is something that a lot of people get judged on, but they also help people that are still going through emotional trauma by coming up with non-unaliving methods to deal with it, get people into help, support, all of that. It's an amazing thing that Ed does. Ed is one of my moderators here. I've known Ed for years and years and years, a friend of mine. I don't have many friends, but Ed is a friend of mine, as are all the mods, because they're all wonderful people. But yeah, if you would like to, please do go across. It's in the chat. Can I pin it from here? I'm not sure that I can pin it from here. I might be able to pin it. Hang on a second. Let me go over to the... Oh, let me try this. Right. 1 second, everybody. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what, while I'm doing this, if you want to, why don't you go ahead and put your questions into the live chat, starting with the word question. Can I press a button? Can I press a button? Can I press a button? Go ahead and do that. Start with the word question, and we will... I will do a round. We'll have a round straight after this. Let's do a Star Wars. Oh gosh. Right, bear with everybody. I'm looking at my own YouTube right now, so it's very confusing. Hang on. There it is. I found it, Ed. Can I pin the comment? Pin the message. Yes, I can do it. Right, I have pinned the message to the top of the doodah on the YouTubes. Technical terms, right? This is how you know I'm a professional YouTuber. I'm really not. But it's pinned at the top of the YouTubey thing. It's pinned. Oh, also, how many likes have we got? 12 likes. Yay. 13 now, because I've just liked it myself. I know, right? I like my own stream. Anyway, it's pinned. Yay. They also, oh, look. They also run courses on how the brain works and give service users tools to manage their mental health. Mindfulness practice, lots and lots of things like that. If you're able to donate, please go ahead. Yeah, raise some money. That would be amazing. Right then, let's have a look. Without me specs on, up and down the scrolly, looking at the microphone. Flaming heck. Looking at the microphone, you know, the thing that records me, that takes pictures. My brain. Ed, maybe you need to get them to scan my brain. In fact, I'm having an MRI soon. Maybe I should send you guys the bloody brain scan. You know what I mean? You'll be able to tell me what's going on in my brain. Anyway, right, let's click one of these by looking at the microphone over there. Gosh, it never changes, does it? Right, random, and hopefully that's not... Oh, is it on the thing? Yes, it is. Who is that? Tanisha, my darling, you've got a question. What about your marriage life that's coming ahead? February. You're getting married in February. Tanisha, do I need to buy a hat? Have I got an excuse to buy a... Do I have a hat anywhere? Do I have a hat anywhere in this room? Probably, but not... I do have a hat. Hang on. I'm going to go and get my wedding hat. Hold on. I'm getting the... Oh, shit, I'm falling over. Right, getting the wedding hat. I've got... that's not a hat. Hang on. It's here somewhere. Where's the wedding hat? Here we go. No, that's not it. Oh, no. Oh, pants. Hang on. Lisa, this is not the time. You've got to do tarot readings. This is not the time. Right. Oh. I've got my fingers on it. It's in a drawer. No, it's not. It's in a folder. Right, here we go. I've got my wedding hat. You know, when I said I needed to buy one, what I meant was I need to buy a new one. But this is my wedding hat then. What about this? Look, here you go. Look, what about this for my wedding hat? Do you want to see it in all its glory? There we go. Look at my wedding hat. How do you think? I think this would go really well. I think Patricia's probably got a matching one as well. So we could have... Was it worth it? All that time waiting for me to get the hat out, the thing. Oh, it's round the wrong way. There we go. There we go. Look, isn't it gorgeous? How about this turning up at your wedding? Yeah, I know, right? God. By the way, Halloween season is in the shops. Halloween, look, I've got a gonk. I've got a Halloween gonk. My Lord, I've had too much caffeine today. But look, I've got a new gonk. It's got purple, black and purple spiders. Purple spiders on black hat on the gonk. Halloween is coming into the shops. Yay, love it. No, not yet. Anyway, right, back to... Did you miss us, Tanisha? Did you miss this frenetic, chaotic energy that we bring you each and every Tuesday and Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time? Did you miss it? Did you miss it? Hopefully not. Why am I going that way? It needs to go that way. There we go. Right. So then, back to your question, Tanisha. Wispy. And I wonder why I'm not a bigger YouTuber. I wonder why people subscribe and then bugger off and unsubscribe. It's because of chaos like this, right? Most tarot reading channels just do the readings, bugger off. Not me. I go and get wedding hats and show you the gonks I bought. Is there any wonder why this is still a very expensive hobby? Anyway, right. Oh dear. Right then, let's have a look. So, Wispy, I'm not even on the right camera. I might have had too much caffeine. I have got a double shot in here. That's why. Plus, I had an energy drink before I started. So, you know. Right then, Wispy, Tanisha, a long time friend of the channel. Tanisha was here when I was doing beauty content on this channel. That's how long Tanisha's been around for. When I was doing videos about makeup. I know, right? It's a long time. But Wispy, Tanisha would like to know what about her marriage that's coming up in February. She wants to know about the compatibility and everything. So then, I tell you what, Tanisha, I tell you what I'm going to do, my darling. Don't drop all the cards, Wispy. One card is a flip. One card is a flip. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do you a 7-card reading. Okay, my darling, we'll do you a 7-card reading and see how that goes. So then, let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see. Wispy, we're doing a 7-card. Here we go. Right, let's pull this right up so you can see. There we go. You see, look, I've got, look, pumpkin candles and my lovely obelisk. This isn't a Halloween obelisk. It's just beautiful. Anyway, enough. Lisa, get on with the reading. Shut up. Right, here we go. So, past, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Present, Page of Cups. Can you see those two? I'll tell you what. Let me hang on. Where's the thing? La 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 la. There we go. If I go onto that one there and down there, then I can click off it and still read it myself. There we go. That should work. Yeah, it does. Right then. The Empress, my favorite card in the deck. The 5 of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. I'm running out of space. Temperance and the 10 of Cups. Right. Everything is going to fall off the desk if you do that, Lisa. There we go. Right then. So let's have a look. So Wispy. No, not Wispy. Tanisha. In the past, Queen of Pentacles. Right. So what does Queen of Pentacles mean? Pentacles is your work, career, finances, right? And it is reversed. So there is something here about maybe a little bit of a question about how you are, about long-term strategies, basically what I think I'm saying, right? So about the future. So we've got a seedling here that's been grown from the pots. There's a bunny rabbit there, which obviously represents fertility. And this person with the queen energy, that nurturing energy, is looking towards children, family, the future. But this is reversed. So I don't know whether or not it's something that you are a little bit uncertain about, is in terms of, you know, kids and all of that, or whether there's, you know, maybe a little bit of an issue there around that kind of feeling. It could also be, you know, hang on a second, it could also be around, literally around money and work, and maybe there's a difference of opinion around work or finances somehow, because that can quite often come up with the queen as well. In the present, so this is where you're heading into the wedding. Page of Cups, very young, innocent energy from the pair of you. So it feels like there's quite a lot of, I don't think either of you have been around the block, and I don't think either of you have got, you know, a lot of miles on the clock, if you know what I'm saying. So I think it's going to be a really interesting time of both of you discovering about each other, discovering all the things that you like and love about each other, discovering all of those things, right? Because the Page of Cups is obviously your emotional suit. You can see here the balloons, but we've got water in the balloons. Water is your emotions. Anytime you see water, it's relating to emotions. And we've even got, I think, as a koi carp in here, and you've got the infinity symbol. So there's lots and lots of imagery here talking about, you know, this is a new romance, but it's a romance that may well last a good period of time because of this infinity symbol. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It is difficult to make relationships work long term, but, you know, it does look like you're off to a good start with this one. In the influence, we've got my favorite card, which is, of course, the Empress. Now, this is a very different deck. Now, it is reversed, but I'll show you what the standard Empress looks like. So generally looks like this, where you've got the Empress with the cornfield sat on a chair, on a throne. In this case, the Empress is very much just sat by herself. You've got the corn here, the crown of stars, and you've got the props and the pomegranates and things that represent that on the standard card, basically. But the Empress represents abundance. It also represents nurturing energy. So there is an influence here about maybe expectations around children, which is interesting because this is reversed, and this card here could be pointing at the same thing. So these could be hinting towards the same thing, that maybe it's talking about, I don't know whether you think your clock is ticking and that you need to get on and make some babies, or whether other people have got that opinion. But it does really feel like there is a little bit of pressure here for you to move, you know, to get cracking with the babies, basically. The obstacle, the Five of Cups. So this is not a bad thing, right? The obstacle position, we've got the five. Five is talking about instability, and cups, again, is your emotional suit, like I said here. So it's talking about there is going to be a period of change, right? And one of the obstacles, I think, is going to be the beginning, because you're asking about the wedding, is the beginning of the relationship, the beginning of the wedding, and moving forward together is going to be a good period of adjustment. Now, it is a period of change, and there is going to be a time where you need to get used to living with each other, dealing with each other day in, day out, all of that. But it's not insurmountable. Change happens. Change is good, right? Sometimes it feels really chaotic, but in the long term, change is always a good thing, because it's what life is all about. Without change, the universe is in a state of entropy, which means everything decays and dies, right? So we have to keep growing. We have to keep changing in order for life to continue. And that's what this is saying. So yes, it's an obstacle, but the obstacle is about that change. And I think it's not insurmountable. It's not like, oh my gosh, everything's going to be disastrous, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. It's literally saying that it's going to take a bit of time to get used to each other, put it that way. The opinion of others, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a little bit about, maybe people think that there's a little bit of rushing in, or maybe people think there's maybe a financial issue going on. Interesting, again, with the Queen of Pentacles coming up here. So there could be some sort of work difference between you. So maybe you're saying, look, we'll have kids, But in 5 years' time, because at the moment I've worked bloody hard for my job and I don't want to give it up yet. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. But there's definitely a feeling here of sticking to your guns about work. And maybe other people, because this is other people's opinion, maybe other people are seeing you as sort of like, how can I put it? A bit stubborn and a bit like, well, actually, you should be having babies, not working. There's that sort of vibe, okay? The advice, temperance. Oh, I get another one of these to play. Right. So temperance is really an interesting card. It's talking about, normally, if it was upright, it would be talking about negotiating and finding a middle way. So you can see in the standard deck, it's got the angel pouring water from the different cups. Now, this is very similar. If I flip it, you can see it looks like an angel, but these are not angel wings. These are ethereal wings. And you can see somebody's mixing the fire and the water here. So they're mixing the two elements, but we haven't got a load of steam going off. So this person is mixing these equally and maintaining a balance. They've also taken off their shoes. So they are standing 1 foot on the ground, on the land, and 1 foot, 1 toe in the ocean, right? 1 toe in the water. You've got this element here of finding this middle path. So there is a way of appeasing both of these, right? The work relationship and the need for babies. But this is reversed. So it's saying that the advice is stick to your guns, basically. If you don't feel that you are ready to have 15 children in the next 12 years or whatever the hell it is, then don't. You know what I mean? If you want to focus more on building your career so you can take a couple of years off to have a child and then deal with child rearing in a very modern and you know, grown up way, then that's fine. There's always room for negotiation. There's always room for compromise in marriages and in relationships, but something so fundamental is pretty much down to you to decide, right? It's at the end of the day, it's your body, and other people outside of the relationship can pressure you to do that. But at the end of the day, it's between you and your fiance, your husband to be. Now, the outcome of this, we've got the 10 of Cups overflowing. So there is going to be a lot of emotions tied up with the first few months of the wedding. Now, you would expect that anyway, right? But it feels like it's going to be quite an emotional roller coaster, in probably a good way. It is reversed, so there is going to be a bit of getting used to things, a bit of adjustment with everybody concerned, but it does feel that overall it's going to be positive. But I do think you need to find a way of managing other people's emotions around the marriage, right? So again, this is coming up very much. I don't know whether this is in-laws. It feels like in-law energy rather than from your family. It feels like it's in-law energy where there is that expectation. Oh, well, you know, you're studying and working and doing things well now, but you know what? When you get married, that will all change. It feels very much like that's going to be a slight bone of contention, but I do think you'll find your way through. And it does feel like between you and your hubby, it does feel like there's a good connection to come, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, let me have a look on the live chat, on the comments. While I do that, let me click onto the other camera. There we go. Oops. Oh no, I don't like the beepy noise. Hopefully I haven't moved that too far. The beepy noise means something, the computer doesn't like something. So we might only have this one camera now. Let me have a look. Getting married, thanks, and love you all for this special treatment. Oh, no worries, my darling. Hopefully it helps. Your brain doesn't work half the days. Mine doesn't work at all. It really, really doesn't. It really doesn't. But yes, thank you ever so much, my darling. I hope that helps. I really do. You swear. Oh, you missed it. Okay, to be honest, you're happy to see. Oh, I'm really happy for you. Really, really, really happy for you. Thank you, Ed. I don't know what that was for. Whoever. Yes, I know. Do I have to give the banger of a car a run to yours and tell you off? Yes, you do. I'm scared to have kids. I want to have fun for a couple of years and work and do a job. Yes, there you are. Oh my God. That, Tanisha, that exactly. That is what I was getting from the cards. Oh my God. Yes. And there will be a bit of a, but you'll be absolutely fine. It's been about years we've known each other, but yeah, but a lot emotional. You will be emotional, my darling. Thank you, Crystal Rose, for the cloth. Neil in the chat bought it for me a few years back. 1 3 cards, I understood that. The conflict between you and the others. Absolutely, Tanisha. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's just have a look. You're allowed to have more than one mission on the go. Yeah, absolutely. You're thrilled and amazed to your reading. So apt. Thank you so much, Lisa. I take the reading. Yeah, I helped. Oh, no worries, my darling. Thank you so much. Yes, there is. There's one more round, SK. One more round. We've got just enough time to do one more reading tonight. I'm so glad that helped, Tanisha. Listen, I am over the moon for you, right? You've been chatting for a while with us, and I think a couple of times you've asked for like relationship type, you know, is there a love life coming up for you? Is there this coming up, that coming up? It feels really, really positive. It really does, my darling. It feels really, really positive. Any suggestions? What I will say, right? Again, right, anybody in the chat, listen, I'm opening this up to everybody in the chat. Tanisha's asking any suggestions you'd like to give for the next phase of her life. So she's about to go and get married in February, start a new life with her husband to be, with her husband as will be, and start a new life as a family together. Maybe at some point down the line have some kids. All of that. What advice would you all give? My advice, my darling, my advice. I've been together with Rufus for 8 years in October. My advice is sometimes people are grumpy just because they're grumpy, right? It doesn't mean that they're grumpy at you. They're just maybe having a rough day or a slow morning. And it's very easy for us to think that the people that are closest to us are grumpy at us. But actually, sometimes people are just grumpy, right? So you need to learn to give each other space when you're both a bit grumpy. And if there's one word above all else that I think is the most important word about making a successful relationship, and that would be compromise, right? It's almost more important than love. Almost more important. Like they'd go hand in hand for me, right? There are going to be times where you want to, I don't know, go on a trip and your hubby won't. A compromise where you say, we won't go today, or, you know, maybe we won't go this week, maybe we'll go next week instead. Learning to compromise, learning to meet each other halfway, and also learning the bits that your husband isn't so great at that you can pick up for him, but also having trust and give him the things that you struggle with, right? And have those discussions, be very open with each other and have those discussions. But it's the first few years are a massive time of change, right? You've got to learn to get used to each other's ways, each other's foibles. It's been harder for Rufus than it has for me, I've got to say, because my ADHD, my brain doesn't work the way his does. And so it's very difficult for me sometimes to be normal and do things the way normal people think and expect, neurotypical people. But for me, I've learned that I have to be patient, and I've learned that some things that aren't important to me are really important to him, and therefore they become important to me, if that makes sense. So silly things like not leaving the washing up in the bowl overnight. I wash it up on the way now. I wash as I cook. Little change. Yes, it was a pain in the ass the first few times when we first got together, but actually long term it's now become habit. And so yeah, that would be my advice. Anyway, my darling, everybody else in the live chat, if you can give Tanisha, what would be your 1 sentence, 2 sentence, your paragraph of advice for relationships? If you can put it in the chat, that would be lovely. This is such a lovely, warm community. So go ahead and put that in the chat, especially if you don't want a reading right now, because we're about to open the round for the very last time. So if you would like, I'm on all the wrong screens here. If you would like a reading, please go ahead and do the things. Shall we have the love heart one? I think we need to have the love heart video because of the wedding. So go ahead. The round is open for the last time tonight. Get your questions in. Start your question with the word question. like this. There we go. You didn't just see it. I just dropped my glasses off my head when I was taking the last swig of coffee. That's always good, isn't it? Ah, that's what you're all here for. Tarot readings and chaotic energy. I know, right? I know. Tarot chaos. Let's have a look in the chat. I just realized I've just asked everyone to put comments in right when I do questions. That's a bit bonkers. Right then, let's have a look. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. This one. Crystal Rose is Mr. Libra spying on me? Is Mr. Libra spying on me? Okie dokie. Let's have a little look-see. Click to the other camera. This is the last reading tonight, everybody. Don't forget. Oh gosh, hang on. Why is that there? There we go. Hopefully that's, you can all see that. What was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, this is the last reading today, everyone. So if you would like a reading, you can still go across. Oh, hang on, I haven't got it linked. Hang on. There we go. You can go across to my website, which is just, is it there? There, look. beyondauthentic.co.uk. You can book a reading there if you want to. I do 3-card, 7-card, 10-card live readings, all sorts of bits and pieces. You can also go across to fiverr.com/beyondauthentic if you would like. Do I have a thing for that? The I in authentic is a 1. I haven't got a thing for that anymore. No, go do it on the website because that will link you. Anyway, right, where's the comments? There's the comments. There's the thingy. Where is it? There we go. Right, Wispy, for the last time tonight. Someone's burning something. It's not in this room, so that's good. Right, Wispy, let's go. Final reading tonight, my friend. The Crystal Rose. Is Mr. Libra buying on me? Oh, gosh. That's my poorly shuffling. Is Mr. Libra spying on Crystal Rose? That's what we want to know. Is Mr. Libra spying on Crystal Rose? That was a card. Didn't just jump. It landed in my lap that way round. Knight of Swords. Ugh. Right. My gut instinct is yes. I don't know why, Crystal Rose. My gut instinct is yes. Knights are the ones that rush in where angels fear to tread. Swords is your trouble and strife. Oh, that's why this is so high, because I did a 7 card, didn't I? Right, there we go. So yeah, it's reversed. This is like a malicious energy that I get from this card instantly. Right, so I'm going to do your 3 card. We'll do you the situation, obstacle, and how to overcome, right? That's what we'll do. Oh, I did not expect it to be that low down. That's fascinating. Right, it's not fascinating. It's just interesting to me. Right, the situation, 8 of Swords. So there is a lot of, again, obstacles, challenges. There's a lot going on at the moment. There's a certain amount of having the blindfold taken off. So whatever your relationship to Mr. Libra is, I think you're beginning to wake up to how he really is, if that makes sense, right? It feels like that blindfold's been lifted and suddenly you're seeing things as they really are. In the obstacle, the Hermit. Oh, I get to play this again. So we've got the Hermit. So the Hermit is reversed. Now, normally the Hermit is talking about spending time, getting to know yourself, shining that light in the dark corners and spending that time alone and away. But when it's reversed, it feels like there is a certain, I mean, it could literally be, right? One interpretation, Crystal Rose, would literally be this person does not want to leave you alone. Because the Hermit is about being alone. Normally it's about self-sacrifice. You go off into the woods and thank you, Alexa. You go off into the woods, into the cave. You learn about yourself. You stay there for a little while. You know, you catch local deer and rabbits and you live off the berries on the plants. You basically do all of that for a while, live in that cave, drinking the, you know, melted snow. You do all of that, you learn about yourself, all your hardships, all your foibles, and then you come back into the world when you know yourself. But it could literally be he doesn't want to leave you alone. So we've got sword, potentially negative hermit. Let's see what this is. So this is how to overcome. The Eight of Cups. Interesting, slightly confusing. Okay, so you overcome. Now, the Eight of Cups is talking about an emotional situation, right? So there's an emotional situation here. It feels, well, if you look at the card, you can see we've got these pans and pots and jugs and vases and everything catching the drips, right? So your roof is leaking. But look, it's not raining outside. The ground outside is dry. The door is open. Everything is dry. This is an old emotion going on, right? But the door is open for you to move on and go and find the 9, right? That is what the card, the 8, is often talking about. It's often talking about making your way from where you are to find the 9, to continue that journey. So there is definitely something here around being able to move on. I think when we look at the Knight of Swords as your clarifying card, I think you might have some issues, right? I think you might have some issues with being able to move on. Let me see, right? I'm going to dragons, wispy, wispy, wispy. I know we don't normally, but I want to get a clarifying card for the 8, right? We want to clarify this. And I'm actually going to use a different deck. This is something that I found worked really amazingly well, these two decks together, when I did the live, the event that I did recently. We've got 2 minutes left on the stream, so I'm going to do this really quickly. But I just want, dragons, I just want to clarify, how does Crystal Rose separate, move on from Mr. Libra? Right, 4 of Cups. Right, both of these two cards just dropped. So we've got the Death or Rebirth card, the 13 card. So this is about a time of transition and moving on. And we've got the 4 of Cups, stability, emotional stability somewhere else. So both of these cards would suggest that you just need to be really, really, really clear that you have moved on. You have changed the situation. I'm going to get one more down because it feels like this needs a 3. So we're going with the 9. Yeah, confidence. Right, my darling. So don't be afraid to use the law if you need to, but absolutely make it abundantly clear that you don't want to deal with this person anymore, right? Make it abundantly clear that this connection is severed. So do all the practical things, block on Facebook, block on the social medias, block the phone number, all of that. If you are, let me just swap. It feels like this needs to be an eye-to-eye type conversation. And I'm going to come in on the comments just to make sure that if you say anything, I don't miss it. Hang on, live comments are on that one. He's a friend who you fancy. No. I wouldn't. No. Red flags, Crystal Rose, right? Big time red flags. Big time red flags. It really is, really. She's not doing it. She's supposed to change my lights to red. There is nothing here that feels comfortable. It all feels really troublesome. It feels like there are red flags. All of these swords, with the Hermit reversed, this feels quite yucky, especially when we've got the 8 coming up in the how to overcome position, and that is moving on, move on, go look for it somewhere else. This does not feel like a healthy connection, especially when as soon as we start clarifying the 8 of Cups, we've got the rebirth, the move on, the transition card. We've got the 4 of Cups, which is talking about future stability, but Again, look, this is not a happy card. And then we've got the 9 of Wands, which means protect yourself, protect your self-esteem, and do it with confidence, right? Get your barriers up. Look, build this wall. Look at the fence. Build that, put it in place. I think you need to be very, very careful, my darling. If it might be someone you fancy, but I don't think it's somebody whose energy is going to be particularly great for you. It might be all right as a quick sort of wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But in terms of anything else, I wouldn't even, to be honest, I wouldn't even go there. The red flags are shouting, screaming, and hollering at me. So if I were you, my darling, I would just be a little bit careful with this one. But yeah, you make all your own decisions about your own life. Of course, tarot is only for entertainment purposes. But yeah, hopefully that helps, my darling. But just be a little bit careful, Crystal Rose. Just be a little bit careful. But there you are. Hopefully that helps. So thank you ever so much, everybody. That is it for today. Yeah, thank you, Patricia. Lena, oh, heart Lena, good evening, my darling. We're just ending the stream now. We end at 9 o'clock UK time, but we will be back on Friday evening. No, Sunday evening. I forgot what day we're doing. We'll be back on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. For full details, hit your bell icon. Oh no, it didn't play. There you go. Hit your bell so that YouTube notifies you each and every time. But that is going to be it from me today, everyone. It's been a mammoth session, hasn't it? I don't know how many readings we did, but we've had a fun evening. We've talked about all sorts of bits and pieces, and we've even put our wedding hat on. So yeah, it's been good. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for subscribing and doing all the lovely things. If you liked the video, please go ahead, or the stream, I should say, please go ahead and do the thumbs uppy thing if you haven't already. That is wonderful. And yeah, thank you so much to the mods. You're all brilliant, and I will see you all again very soon. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And this video is for all of you. I meant to say, this video is for all of you. See you next time. Bye-bye.